Hello friends, greetings to all of you. I hope you are doing good and preparing well for the examination. We have completed successfully chapter 2, 5, 3, 4 and 7 of the ISCA paper, CF final paper number 6 old syllabus, right? And I hope you have done studying the practice manual also along with the videos and revised the entire concept with the help of this PDF which is being provided with the help of with the videos. So PDF plus listening to the videos and practice manual can help you in boosting up your preparation, right? So now today I am really excited to start chapter number 1. Generally people find this chapter to be a bit difficult. It's not that it's difficult, it is a bit technical what I say. Large big jargons are being used in that. So we'll try to complete this chapter number 1 in a minimum of 3 to 4 videos. And what all you will be getting till now, you have understood what are the types of information systems, then how to develop the system in chapter number 5, and then what are the protection applied, and then how to get the business into on track if there occurs a disaster by having disaster recovery planning and business continuity planning in place. And now we have also seen the law like Information Technology Act 2000 and requirements by various regulatory bodies regarding the audit of the information systems. We have seen all these things. Now we have to come to in chapter number 1, which will be dealing with certain other concepts like dealing with the concept of governance and management of information system. So what are we going to actually see? First thing, we are going to see what is meant by governance, what is meant by enterprise governance, and then we are going to see what are the benefits of governance, then what are the key practices to determine the status of IT governance in an enterprise, then benefits of IT governance, then GEIT, governance of enterprise IT, what does it mean, and then we are going to see even what is meant by enterprise risk management, how to tolerate the risk, what are the strategies to bear the risk, and what are internal controls, then role of IT in an enterprise. Also a bit knowledge about the IT steering committee and its functions, and then we are going to see IT strategy planning, what is the objective of planning, then what are the different kinds of plan available, then we are also going to understand what is the business value from the use of IT, then how to measure that benefits that were realized from the IT investment, and then what is meant by risk management, certain important terms in risk management, then what are the risk management strategies, and then we are going to see COBIT 5. This is the most important thing, COBIT 5 framework and the COBIT 5 process reference model and enablers of COBIT 5, and then we'll be going to see the governance risk compliance, governance risk GRC program, governance risk and compliance program. What does it mean? Then what are the key management practices for IT compliance, and then evaluating IT governance structure with the other structures by the internal auditor. Means how does the internal auditor, what does internal auditor do while trying to evaluate the IT governance of an enterprise, and we are going to see sample areas of GRC, governance risk and compliance sample areas of GRC for review by the auditor. By doing these many topics, this chapter will be done, and this chapter is quite also important because it will be asked frequently. It may not be asked a separate question, but it may be a part of one question. Like example, you can take a fourth question. Question number 1 coming from chapter number 3 and question number 2 coming from chapter number 1. So this chapter also bears its significance. Just that it is having more technical capability doesn't mean that it is hard. We can do it, and let us try to understand our level best and prepare for this chapter number 1. So but all of this important thing, what is the name of the chapter? I think we need to first always try to understand what is the name of the chapter before we're trying to do. The name of the chapter is concept of governance and management of information system. So without much delay, let's get started with chapter number 1, concept of governance and management of information systems. So friends, now let us begin chapter number 1, concept of governance and management of information system. In this first we need to understand few terminology. First one is governance. What is meant by governance? A governance system typically refers to all means and mechanism that will enable a multiple stakeholders of an enterprise to have an organized mechanism for evaluating options, setting directions and monitoring compliance and performance to satisfy specific enterprise objective. Let's try to understand. Governance means it is a system. Okay, it is a process, it is a system. It refers to all means and mechanisms. It has in itself all the required means and mechanisms that will enable these mechanisms will enable the multiple stakeholders of an enterprise. Stakeholders of the enterprise include the shareholders, board of directors, any person who is affected by the enterprise is stakeholder. Have to have an organized mechanism. What these mechanisms will give to the stakeholder? They will enable the stakeholder to have an organized mechanism. Why we need a mechanism? To evaluate the option, setting directions and monitoring compliance and performance in order to see what are the available. The mechanism help the stakeholders to understand what are the options available, which direction the organization should be forwarding, and and monitoring compliance means is it following the specific law and order and set direction or not. So this will help in satisfying the enterprise objective. To achieve an objective, we need to have a direction, we need to work on it, and we need to have some monitoring and compliance so that the organization can achieve their objective. That process is called as governance. So a governance system typically refers to all means a mechanism that will enable a multiple stakeholder in an enterprise to have an organized mechanism for evaluating options, setting direction, and monitoring compliance and performance to satisfy a specific enterprise objective. Now, what is enterprise governance? Enterprise governance can be defined as a set of responsibility and practices. It is also again a set of responsibility and practices by whom, because it's enterprise governance, it is done by the board and executive management with the goal of providing strategic direction, ensuring the objectives will be achieved, ascertaining that the risk is managed appropriately, and verifying that the organization's resources are used responsibly. Governance common term used by everybody who are stakeholders, but enterprise governance is focused mainly, it is done by the board of directors and executive management because it relates to the functioning of the enterprise. What they try to do, this will be having the enterprise governance will have set of responsibility, and this board of directors and executive management will try to reach the goal. What is the goal? To provide a strategic direction to the organization and ensure that the objective determined as determined is achieved. And ascertaining the risk means evaluating the risk and to see if they are managed appropriately, and verifying that the organization resources are used responsibly. So the board of directors will take care of providing the strategic direction, ensuring that objectives are achieved, ascertaining the risk management practices, and also verify the organization resources are used responsibly. So let us once again repeat what is enterprise governance. Enterprise governance can be defined as a set of responsibility and practices exercised by the board and executive management with the goal of providing the strategic direction, ensuring that the objectives are achieved, ascertaining the risks are managed appropriately, and verifying that the organization resources are used responsibly. Then the enterprise governance has been divided into two categories. First thing is corporate governance, also called as conformance, and business governance, also called as performance. What is this corporate governance? Corporate governance is defined as, again, it is a system in which the company and enterprise is directed and controlled to achieve the objective of increasing shareholders' value by enhancing economic performance. Means by increasing the performance, the board of directors and the organization is trying to increase the enterprise value so that the shareholders' value can be increased. Then corporate governance concerns the relationship of the management board of directors with the other stakeholders. So the relationship, the way of interaction between the stakeholders and the board of directors is maintained by the corporate governance. The conformance dimension of governance provides historic view about the regulatory requirement. We also see because we are now dealing with the stakeholders. One of the stakeholders is government. So it will try to see if the regulatory requirements are complied or not. Because if there is non-compliance, they may result in penalty, right? That's why this corporate governance also sees the role of chairman, CEO, risk management, company, adequate risk management exists or not. What are the board committees? So that it will try to ensure that the organization is working effectively and it is helping in increasing the shareholders' value. Then what is business governance? Is also called as performance. Here the performance dimension of governance is proactive in approach. Means the performance dimension of this kind of governance is proactive in approach. Means what it wants to do, it is doing beforehand. It is business oriented and take forward looking view. If anything back happens also, if anything the organization got some setbacks also, this performance point of view is trying to look in the forward and try to take the business ahead. Therefore it is a business oriented activity. This dimension focuses on strategy and value creation with the objective of helping the board to make the strategic decision. In order to move forward and to take forward decision, you need to create a strategy and value creation with the objective of helping the board to make strategic decision, understand the risk appetite, and keep performance drivers. This dimension does not lend itself easily to a regime of standards. Means if you say this you have to follow, this you have to do this, it will not be working with the business governance. This type of governance is very specific to the organization, and according to the requirement they will be aligned. So performance dimension looks at being a proactive approach. It looks at the forward looking view of the organization goals and focuses on strategy and value creation with the objective of helping the board to helping the board to make the strategic decision, understand the risk appetite, and helping key performance drivers. So Business performance will help the board by taking a forward-looking view to understand what should be the strategy, helps in value creation, and then helps the board to take strategic decision, helps them to understand the risk appetite, and helps in verifying the key performance drivers. So corporate governance and business governance are two approaches of enterprise governance. One sees the entire company and sees the relationship between the company and the stakeholders, and the other one sees for the company itself from the business point of view and takes a forward-looking strategy. So what is the benefit of governance? If you're having any particular policy or a document which showing that this must be done, which helps in governing the activities of the company, what are the benefits of it? First benefit is that achieving enterprise objectives is very easy now, right? Then we can define and encourage what kind of behavior do we need in the IT. Should the IT deployment should be in a fast pace, or should be in a normal speed, or how should be the behavior of the IT? Then implementing and integrating desired business process. We know that to achieve this we must do this process, and we can implement it very easily, and then provide stability for overcoming the limitations of the organization structure. Then it helps in improving customer business relationship and also reduces the internal territorial strife. Means the some negativity among the employees, it will reduce them, and it will strategically align and it will help in aligning the decisions based upon the IT principles, and also define the IT and IT investment prioritization. So what are the benefits of governance? Achieving enterprise objective by ensuring that all elements of the mission and strategy are assigned and managed, defining and encouraging desirable behavior in the IT and in the execution of the outsourcing arrangement, implementing and integrating desired business process in the enterprise, providing stability and overcoming the limitations of the organization structure, then improving customer business and internal relationship and satisfaction, reducing territorial strife, enabling effective and strategic aligned decision making for the IT principles that define the role and IT investment and prioritization. The strategic alignment of IT and the business objective is a critical success factor for today's business, because a business cannot be done without the use of IT. IT can be without a business objective, but business requires IT. Therefore, the alignment of these two things are very critical for the success of any enterprise. Then, what is meant by IT governance? Till now, we have seen what is meant by governance, what is meant by enterprise governance. Again, is in two parts: corporate governance and or conformance, and business governance or performance. But what is IT governance? So we have understood that governance typically means it is a mechanism that will enable the multiple stakeholders of an organization to evaluate options, setting direction, and monitoring the compliance and performance. Then how this is aligned with the in information technology. So IT governance refers to that system in which the directors of the enterprise evaluate, direct, and monitor IT management to ensure effectiveness, accountability, and compliance with IT. See, in the first definition of governance, it is trying to build the relationship between the people and the enterprise, and helps them to evaluate the option and set direction for the enterprise to achieve the objective, right? But in IT governance, this IT governance specifically focused upon the IT management of the company. The directors of the enterprise will evaluate, direct, and monitor the IT management, information technology management, to ensure effectiveness, accountability, and compliance with the IT. Okay, so IT governance refers to that system in which the directors of the enterprise evaluate, direct, and monitor IT management to ensure effectiveness, accountability, and compliance of IT. Then comes what are the key practices to determine status of IT. If you want to understand what is the level at which level the IT is playing in the organization, what are the different practices we need to see that will determine the status of IT governance. First thing, who is making the decision, controlling, and executing the decision. Then who is making the directing, controlling, and making decision. How the decisions are made. Then what information is required to make these decisions, how exceptions are handled, what decision making mechanism are required, and how the governance results are monitored and improved. Means who is taking the decision of directing, controlling, how the decisions are being made. Is it only one side approach or is it two-way communication? Then what is information being considered for making a decision? If anything deviates out of the information, how the exceptions are being handled, and what decision making mechanisms are being required, and how the governance results are monitored and improved. So once you implement a system, it won't be sufficient if you implement it. We need to revise it and keep on constantly observing it. So therefore, if the results are given by the system, how the results are monitored and improved. Then comes benefit of IT governance. What is the benefit of having IT governance? Here we have seen what are the benefits of having a governance in the enterprise. Now we are going to see what are the benefits of IT governance in the enterprise. The benefits of IT governance are: first thing, your value will increase, the the way of servicing will be improving. You can deliver high quality services, then you can give high satisfaction to the users. You can provide supporting quick supporting needs to your customers, then the better performance will be available, then management will be highly improved, and IT related risk can be minimized, then IT will become enabler for change rather than inhibitor, improved transparency and improved compliance with relevant regulation, and more optimum utilization of IT resources. So let's once again revise it. What will happen if you have the IT governance? What are the benefits? First thing, increase value delivered through enterprise IT. Second, increase user satisfaction with IT services. Third, improve agility in the business in supporting business need. Fourth, better cost performance of IT. Fifth, improved management and mitigation of IT related business risk. Sixth, IT became enabler for change rather than inhibitor. Seventh, improving transparency and understanding the IT's contribution to the business. You must see how well the IT is being provided supporting the business, so that you can enhance the IT and improve your business process into more effective manner. Then improved compliance with the relevant laws, regulation and policy, and more optimal utilization of IT resources. Okay, now let us see what is meant by governance of enterprise IT. We have till now seen IT governance, but this is a different topic. Governance of enterprise IT, it is a subset of corporate governance. So entire thing of this checking everything will form part of corporate governance, in which one subset is governance of enterprise IT. What it will do, it will facilitate implementation of framework of relevant IS control within the enterprise. So it will be designing a framework so that the information system control is been implemented within the enterprise in according to the framework, and this framework covers all the key area, means where it has to be implemented, how it has to be implemented, what all things you need to cover. These all things are taken care of by GEIT. The primary objective of GEIT is to analyze and articulate the requirements for the governance of enterprise IT. So wherever there is a need for the enterprise IT to be governed, the GEIT will try to analyze and articulate the requirements to those areas, so that the governance of enterprise can be done in enterprise in terms of IT can be done in an efficient manner. Then how it will achieve that thing, how it will achieve the objective of providing governance of enterprise to the IT. It will be doing by putting in place and maintaining effective enabling structures, principles and policies and practices with a clarity of responsibility and authority. What is going to do? First thing is going to analyze and see where are the required areas for the governance of enterprise IT. So the enterprise IT must be governed. What are the areas? But it will search. Once it comes to know how it will manage the thing, once the areas are identified, it will put in place and maintain effective enabling structures. Wherever the need is there to manage the IT, it will put in place the required framework, structure, principles and practices, so that it can be used for maintaining the IT. And these principles, structures, practices will have a clarity of responsibility and authority to achieve the enterprise mission, goals and objective. So wherever there is a requirement for the governance of enterprise IT, this GEIT for analyze and articulates it, and then goes to that place and keep and maintain enabling structures, principles and process with the clarity of responsibility, means who is doing what, with the clarity of responsibility and authority to achieve the enterprise mission and goal. Everything done by here is for achieving the mission and goal of the objective of the organization. So it will try to analyze where its need is required, so as to guard the system from any bad usage, and it will try to maintain the structures and principles, so that, and also specifies the responsibility of who is going to maintain it, and then achieve and help the enterprise in having a good governance in terms of enterprise IT. So this is what we are going to do. Then what is the key governance practices of GEIT? The key governance practices of GEIT are evaluate the governance system of enterprise, direct the governance system and monitor the governance system. We try to evaluate where the need is required for the governance of enterprise IT, then direct the governance system to go to the place and provide the services, and then after the implementation, then monitor the governance system, how the system is now being worked. So these are the key governance practices. Then what are the benefits of GEIT? What are the benefit of having a governance of enterprise IT? Means enterprise IT is being governed. What is the benefit you will get? First thing is that it provides a consistent integrated approach aligned with the enterprise governance. So the IT is now not properly being helping the organization. This will help to provide a consistent approach such that it is integrated and aligned with the enterprise governance approach. Means IT approach is now linked with the governance approach. Then this ensures that IT related decisions are made in line with the enterprise strategy decision. By aligning the enterprise approach with the governance of IT governance approach, we can have the assurance that IT related decisions are in line with the enterprise strategies and objective. It ensures that IT related processes are overseen effectively and transparently. Means there is some authority which is overseeing the IT related process. Then confirms compliance to legal regulatory requirement. It ensures that the governance requirements for board members are met. So board members who need to show it to the reports that they are maintaining governance requirements. This will actually provide the comfort to the board of directors that the governance requirements are being met. So what are the benefits of GEIT? It provides consistent approach, integrated and aligned with the enterprise governance approach. It ensures that IT related decisions are made in line with the enterprise strategy decisions. It ensures that the IT related processes are overseen effectively and transparently. It confirms compliance with legal and regulatory requirement. It ensures that the governance requirements for board members are met. So today we have seen what is meant by governance. What is meant by enterprise governance? It has two categories: corporate governance and conformance, and business governance and performance. Now, what are the benefits of governance? And what is meant by IT governance? What are the key practices of IT governance? And what are the benefits of IT governance? And then we have seen governance of enterprise IT. What are the benefits of what are the key governance practices of enterprise IT? And what are the key practices of GEIT, and then what are the benefits of GEIT? So this is the part 1 of chapter number 1. And now we are going, and the next video will be proceeding to understand what is meant by corporate governance, enterprise risk management, and internal controls. So stay tuned and please once go through this thing, because every type of governance has its own merits and benefits and understanding and own definition. I request to once go through this PDF. This PDF is available in the for a small nominal fees, and the description box I have given the link. And for the previous videos of last chapters like chapter number 2 and 3, I request you to once go back to the channel and kindly view those videos so that you can get in line of the revision process. And please motivate me with your thumbs up and kindly share this channel to your friends so that they will also find the ISCA revision a bit easy and do their best for the examination. Till then, keep studying and be positive. Take care.